Michigan Wolverines. Show your support for Purdue on and off the court.
Welcome inside Mackey Arena. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. I'm Leo Blavin. Michigan traveling to West Lafayette, Indiana to take on the 18th ranked Purdue Boilermakers. It is still winter break for the Purdue students, so it will not be the typical hostile crowd that Michigan is used to playing in front of, that dreaded paint crew. It's still going to be a packed house tonight here at Purdue. However, it won't be the raucous student section that we're accustomed to. The big news is Karis LeVert didn't even warm up today, so he will not go for Michigan. Their starting lineup will be Derek Walton Jr., Zach Irvin, Duncan Robinson, Mark Donnell, and in place of LeVert, Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman. He had 14 points versus Penn State on Saturday when he started in place of Karis LeVert. As for Purdue, their starters, Vince Edwards, Rayfel Davis, Caleb Swanigan, A.J. Hammonds, and Johnny Hill. It was already going to be an uphill battle for Michigan, even with Karis LeVert. Without him, we'll see just how difficult this matchup against Purdue is. Purdue with 3 7-footers. That is going to make things difficult for Mark Donnell in the paint, as he has emerged of late, 42 points in his first 2 Big Ten games combined. He'll have to go up at least early on against A.J. Hammonds, a 7-footer who has been the Big Ten Player of the Week twice in the month of December, and he's averaging 3.6 blocks per game. The other bigs that he'll have to contend with throughout this game, Isaac Haas, who comes in at 7'2", the 282-pound sophomore from Oaks Bluff, Alabama, ranks 3rd nationally in fouls drawn per 40 minutes of play, drawing a remarkable 8.8 fouls per game, and that's something to look for early on. Is does Purdue force Mark Donnell into foul trouble and force Ricky Doyle and Mo Wagner on the court more than John Beilein would like to see them play, with Michigan's bench already shortened a little bit with the absence of Karis LeVert in this game. Vince Edwards, another player to watch as well, a great perimeter defender for Purdue, no longer is responsible for guarding Karis LeVert in this game. Where do they deploy him now? Is it on Zach Irvin or is it Duncan Robinson? Either way, he'll likely take away their ability to shoot, especially from behind the perimeter. We're moments away from getting underway here at Mackey Arena, Gene Cady Court on the campus of Purdue University. Michigan looking to start Big Ten play 3-0. Purdue looking to improve to 2-1 so far in conference play. In Purdue's last game, they dropped a tough one to Iowa, 70-63. It was a game Purdue led by as many as 19 points in the first half. However, the Hawkeyes stormed back, and that's why the Hawkeyes find themselves 2-0 in conference play, and why Purdue finds themselves 1-1. Michigan, of course, 2-0 so far in Big Ten play after winning in Champaign 78-68. They came home and on January 2nd defeated the Penn State Nittany Lions 79-56. And really the player of note in both those games has been Mark Donnell, the 6'9", 240-pound junior from Monclova, Ohio, has really emerged. John Beilein perhaps removing the red shirt to try to inspire him. Whatever's been the key, it seemed to have worked, because Donnell so far in Big Ten play is averaging 42 points. In his last 3 games, is averaging 7.7 rebounds. Michigan's going to count on him not only on the boards and to score, but as well as staying out of foul trouble against these 3 very talented bigs of Purdue. When we come back, we'll have tip-off in a moment. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Seconds away from jump ball. here at Mackey Arena between Michigan and the 18th ranked Purdue Boilermakers. The officials in tonight's contest, Gene Steratore, Mike Eads, and Pat Driscoll. The head coach for Purdue, Matt Painter, in his 11th year with the Boilermakers, a record at Purdue of 225 wins and a 127 loss total to his credit. He reached his 250th career victory as a head coach when Purdue defeated Wisconsin in their Big Ten opener on December 29th. Just waiting to tip things off from Purdue. It'll be 7-footer AJ Hammonds going against the 6'9" Mark Donnell. And the jump ball, perhaps just the start of this mismatch that Purdue will look to exploit early on. Michigan in the road blues with the yellow trim and the yellow numerals. Purdue in their white uniforms, black trim and black numbers. Again, the starters for Michigan: Walton Jr., Urban, Robinson, Donnell, and Abdur Rahman. For Purdue: Edwards, Davis, Swanigan, Hammonds, and Hill. Steratore, the official who will get this jump ball, and we are underway from Purdue. A.J. Hammonds wins the opening tip, and Purdue works the basketball left to right. Their main ball handler, Johnny Hill, leaves to Edwards. Now Hammonds kicks it out to Caleb Swanigan, who's guarded by Irving. Now driving inside with the basketball as Edwards gets a contested shot off, rebound brought down by Rahman. Pushing the pace back the other way, and now he'll settle things down for Michigan. Walton Jr. collects the basketball at center court. Now Donnell comes just outside the arc, top of the key, hands it off to Walton. Walton spinning off the defender and kicks it to Irvin. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Steps on the paint and hits the 10-foot jumper. Zach Irvin gets the scoring started here from Mackey Arena, 2-0 in favor of Michigan with 19 minutes left to play in the opening half. Hill with the basketball for Purdue. Now Hammond. Outside the three-point arc, guarded by Donnell. Gives to Edwards. Edwards works it to Hill, who splits the defense and is tripped up. Foul called on the floor. Mark Donnell picking up his first foul and didn't even come against a big man, and that's going to be something Michigan has to look for in this game. He cannot get into foul trouble, and right away we see DJ Wilson emerge from the bench to replace Donnell after he picks up his first foul. Rayfeld Davis collects the inbound pass from Edwards, and Purdue resets the offense. Down 2-0 here early on. Edwards works to Hill. Right corner up top to Swanigan. Working it down low to Hammonds, who bodies up against Wilson, and he's called for a travel, trying to body up a bit too much, and he lost his footing. Turnover gives the ball back to Michigan, who currently hold a 2-0 lead here with 18.5 minutes left to go in the opening half on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Walton works it across the time stripe. Gives to Duncan Robinson, who's well defended by Rayfeld Davis. Up top to Abdur Rahman. Now to DJ Wilson on the left elbow. Back to Rahman. Wilson sets a screen for Rahman, who gives to Irvin. Pulls up for a contested three-pointer. Off the front of the iron, no good. Rebound brought down by Hammonds. Back the other way comes Hill. Dribbles behind the back. Now uses a screen from Hammond. Steps inside the arc. Now kicks it outside to Edwards. Down low to Hammonds on the right block, who's double teamed by Walton Jr. Kicks it down low pass to Hill. Hill dribbles it out in front of Michigan's bench, and a pass down low to Hammonds. Gets away from him, but he's able to corral it. Kick a nice pass to open Vince Edwards, who misses it from inside the paint, and Duncan Robinson brings the rebound. Comes back the other way. Crowd wants to travel after he stopped his dribble. They don't get the call. Michigan will keep possession. Michigan on top 2-0 here early on. Walton Jr. on Swanigan, mismatch, but he went high off the glass. And at a tough angle, Swanigan altered the shot and he missed it. Now Hill coming back the other way. Kicks it into the corner. Wide open three for Rayfeld Davis. No good. Rebound tipped out and brought down by Hill. In front of the scorer's table. Hill kicks to Davis. Davis guarded by Derek Walton Jr. And now Vince Edwards with it, and Rockman fouls him on the little swim move. Edwards brought the ball below his waistline, and Rockman poked in there and drew the foul, the second against Michigan so far in this contest. 17:04 left to go in the first half. Michigan on top 2-0. Kendall Stevens checking in for Purdue. As Vince Edwards takes his seat, Ricky Doyle checking in for DJ Wilson. Swanigan, well defended by Duncan Robinson, defers to Hill. Now coming off a screen just off the bench. Stevens buries a three, and Purdue takes their first lead in the game on their first basket of the game. Irvin looking to counter. He already has 2 points. An ugly shot, well defended by Swanigan, and he missed badly. Hill pushing the pace the other way. Into the left wing corner, deciding not to shoot the three. Rayfeld Davis drives inside, misses. Hammond's rebound. No good on the putback attempt, and Rockman came in to bring it down, and he's fouled coming back the other way. Fans wanted to steal for Johnny Hill. Instead, he reached in, and they'll call him on the push. First team foul against Purdue in this game as they lead it 3-2 with 16:19 left to go in the opening half. Ugly start offensively for both sides so far in this game. Purdue 1 of 6 to start. Michigan 1 of 4. Doyle settles the offense at the top of the key. Defers to his point guard, and a moving screen is the call against Doyle, and another foul, not against a big man, for a Michigan big, as you thought foul trouble would be the issue early on, especially with A.J. Hammonds. However, both big men for Michigan so far drawing fouls that they can't afford to, and Mo Wagner checking in now for Doyle after Doyle picked up his first foul. Michigan's third, and the referees appear early on like they are going to call this game very tight. Thompson crosses the time stripe for Michigan. Down low to Hammond. He sealed off Wagner with a nice entry pass. He finishes easily at the rim, and that's just the difference between a senior and a true freshman, as Hammond's abused Wagner on that one, and Purdue extends their lead 5-2 with 15:40 left to go in the opening half. Walton gives to Wagner. Wagner waiting for help. Puts one dribble on the floor and gives back to the point guard, Walton. Walton off a screen, tried to feed it to Wagner too high, and Wagner wasn't ready for it. Pass intercepted by Edwards. Edwards dribbles behind the back, getting by Walton. Getting to the rim, and Walton with good transition defense forces the basketball out, but driving in and flushing it home. Kendall Stevens with 5 points coming off the bench, and he's making his presence felt early on. 7-2 in favor of the Boilermakers. A blow-by dribble and one-handed flush puts Purdue on top by 5. Irvin off a screen from Wagner. Steps inside the arc. Kicks it up top to Rockman, and Michigan resets 7 seconds on the shot clock. Rockman going to work on Edwards. Goes off the glass and in. High arcing shot. Finds the net, and Michigan stops their scoring drought. 4 points now for the Wolverines in this game to Purdue 7. P.J. Thompson working it to Stevens. Back to Thompson. Guarded by Walton Jr. Purdue working it down the perimeter. Nice entry pass. Finds an open Edwards who can't finish off the glass. And Michigan comes back the other way off the rebound for Wagner. Walton splitting the defense, going to work against Hammond, trying to finish off the glass. Hammond certainly altered that shot, didn't get the block, but he did just enough to force Walton's miss. And Purdue comes back the other way. Edwards. And an off-ball foul called against Wagner. his first, and the referees really making things difficult for the Michigan big men early on, as all three centers for Michigan have picked up fouls here with 13:58 left to go in the opening half. Purdue is on top of Michigan 7-4. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back inside Mackey Arena. I'm Leo Blavin for Michigan's Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Michigan taking on the 18th ranked Boilermakers. Purdue on top here, 7-4. Michigan just 1 for their last 5 from the field as we get back underway here with 13:58 left to go in the opening half. Dakota Mathias checking in, as does Isaac Haas for the Boilermakers. They're joined on the floor by Thompson, Edwards, and Stevens. Walton, Abdur Rahman, Irvin, Robinson, and Donnell on the floor for Michigan. Thompson, guarded by Irvin, working it down low to Haas. Haas has a good 5 inches on Donnell, and he missed badly on his first attempt of the game. Walton looking to push the pace back the other way, but Thompson cuts him off. Now Robinson, working it to Irvin, 15 on the shot clock. Irving, guarded by Mathias, kicks it to Robinson, who's swarmed by Edwards. They switch, and Edwards guarding Irving. Works it, a cross-court pass to Rahman for 3, and he buries it. 5 points so far for Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman, leading all Michigan scorers. Off a screen back the other way from 3 was Stevens. He missed, and Michigan has the chance to take the lead back on this possession, tied up at 7 apiece, as Andrew Dockich gets ready to check in. Duncan Robinson steps inside, the rebound loose. Donnell couldn't get a grasp on it, and Mathias brings it down for Purdue. Works it forward to Thompson. Now Edwards pulls up for a 3 off the back of the iron, and Robinson brings down the tip from Haas. Robinson pulls up for a 3, and he buries it. Duncan Robinson shooting comfortably over 50% from behind the 3-point arc. Buries his first 3 of the game, and Michigan takes a 10-7 lead with 12.5 minutes left to go in the opening half. Haas, spin off a pass, puts it up, no good. Walton bringing down the rebound. Michigan looking good here early on. Walton kicks to a trailing Irvin. Irvin splits the defense, steps inside, and draws a foul with 12:13 left to go in the first half. Vince Edwards picking up the foul. Second foul against Purdue in the half, and Michigan with a 10-7 lead have 4 fouls to counter the Boilermakers 2. Andrew Dockich checking in for Derek Walton Jr. This is where the absence of Levert particularly felt, as he can sometimes fill in at ball handler. Rockmont as well. But with Levert out, Dockich will get more playing time. Michigan basketball with a 3-point lead. Irvin kicks to Donnell at the top of the key. Works it across to Robinson. Off a screen, Irvin takes the pass. Steps inside the three-point arc and kicks to Robinson from his sweet spot. He steps inside from the free throw line, no good. Donnell swarmed in for the rebound, had it poked away by Matthias, and it's secured by Edwards for Purdue. Brayfeld Davis to Edwards, to Matthias. Purdue working it around the perimeter off a screen. Davis from the top of the key, three-pointer off the side of the iron, no good. Haas tried to bring down the rebound, wasn't able to do so, but it goes out of play off of Duncan Robinson. It'll be Purdue basketball when we come back. 11:36 left to go in the opening half. Michigan on top of the 18th ranked Boilermakers 10-7. You're listening to Michigan Basketball, Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Purdue on a 3-minute, 40-second scoring drought, and Michigan has gone on an 8-0 run in that time span to take a 10-7 lead here with 11:36 left to go in the first half. I'm Leo Blavin. You're listening to Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Purdue will get the basketball off an Isaac Haas deflection off of Duncan Robinson on the floor for Michigan. Donnell, Dockich, Irvin, Rockmont, and Dawkins for Purdue. It's Hill, Matthias, Davis, Haas, and Swanigan. Swanigan with the basketball now, working it to Hill. And now Matthias, guarded by Dockich, working it down low to Swanigan, who spins away from Aubrey Dawkins in an easy two-handed flush for the former McDonald's All-American. Rockmont looking to break the press, has it poked away, and now will dribble forward. Gets into the paint, kicks it to Dawkins. Back to Dockich, and Dawkins will reset the offense with the basketball. Rockmont, guarded by Matthias. Gives to Donnell. Donnell sets a screen and hands it back off to Rockmont. Up top to Dawkins for three. Ugly shot off the heel. No good. Swanigan with the rebound. Hill back the other way. Dribbles past Dockich. Gets into the paint. Contested shot. No good. Rebound tipped by Dawkins off the back of the iron. Or the backboard, I should say. And Haas brought it down for Purdue. Offensive rebound for the Boilermakers. Haas working down low. Pretty spin away from Donnell. And that's a major mismatch Purdue will look to exploit as they take an 11-10 lead with 10:30 left to go in the first half. Haas listed at 7'2", Donnell listed at 6'9". Rockmont off his own dribble creates a shot. Dockich gets the rebound off the miss, and Michigan will reset. 12 rebounds to 8 so far, the edge for the Boilermakers. But Michigan with a chance off an offensive rebound of their own. Janelle gives to Irvin off a screen, steps inside, gives to Donnell, whose hook shot misses everything. Air ball for Mark Donnell, and back the other way comes Johnny Hill. Leaves for Swanigan. Swanigan with a full head of speed in the paint, and it's stripped away by Rockmont. Michigan with numbers back the other way, 4-on-2. Rockmont splits the defense in a pretty move to get the right hand layup in off the glass, and Michigan takes back the lead 12-11. Under 10 minutes left to go in this first half. Michigan just 5 of 13 here early on, but Purdue shooting even worse, 5 of 19 from the field. And Michigan 2 of 4 from behind the arc. Purdue just 1 of 5 from the three-point strike. Swanigan gets it down low, kicks to Hill. Hill steps inside the arc. And a pass intercepted by Dawkins, tipped around, and Donnell secures it. Another turnover for the Boilermakers, and Michigan coming back the other way. Irvin steps inside the three-point arc. His jumper off the backboard, missed the iron. And the rebound brought down by Haas. 3 turnovers for the Boilermakers so far. Swanigan had positioning on Dawkins, but Purdue couldn't get the inbound pass towards him. Swanigan will pull up from 3 in front of Michigan's bench. She misses off the far iron, and the rebound falls for Dockett. Andrew Dockett off the bench. 2 rebounds in this game. Donnell pulls up for a 3 from the top of the key, and he buries it. That's a big shot for Mark Donnell, forcing Isaac Haas to think a little bit more about leaving Michigan's big man alone from behind the arc. As Donnell gets his first score of the game, and Michigan takes a 15-11 lead with 8:20 left to go in the first half. Haas from the free throw line kicks to Swanigan, who's tightly guarded by Irvin. Swanigan going to work off the dribble. Gets into the paint, throws up a shot off the heel, and it falls to Mark Donnell, who gives it to Irvin, and Michigan will come right to left. Michigan doing a good job taking this crowd out of the game so far here in Purdue. Dockich off the screen and has his shot rejected at the rim by Hill off the backboard and pushing it back the other way and getting the and one. Rayfeld Davis. Donnell did not have position. He was inside the arc, tried to draw the charge anyway. He's got to be smarter there on the transition. Rayfeld Davis draws the foul, finishes the basket, and he will look to complete the three-point play when we come back on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Michigan on top, 15-13. Welcome back inside Mackey Arena. Michigan leading the Boilermakers of Purdue 15-13, 7:51 left to go in the first half. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. The difference so far in this game, 3-point shooting. Purdue just 1 of 6 from behind the arc. Michigan 3 of 5, and that's why they find themselves on top by 2. Michigan shooting just 35% from the field. Purdue shooting even worse at 29%. However, Purdue's at 21 shots to Michigan's 17 field goal tries so far in this game. Turnovers not really a factor so far. Purdue just 3 and Michigan with only 2. Purdue, however, 4 points off of those 2 Michigan turnovers, trying to complete the 3-point play that sent us out on that last time out. Rayfel Davis steps to the line. He's shooting 80% on the year. The 2015 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, missed 4 games earlier this year with a knee injury. He's looked good so far in this game on the defensive end, locking down Robinson and Irvin at points. He completes the and one. And now Ryan Klein checks in for Davis. So on the floor for Purdue, Klein, Hammond, Stevens, Mathias, and Swanigan for Michigan. Wilson, Walton, Abdur-Rahman, Robinson, and Dawkins. Michigan just 2 of their last 8 from the field. Can the offense get going? They have a 1-point lead. Wilson will try a 3. Not a shot you see him take often, and the result says why as he misses. Mathias running the point for Purdue. Gives a contested pass to Stevens, who's guarded by Dawkins. Inbound pass to Swanigan, who's fouled by Robinson. Not the worst foul for Robinson to take there, as Swanigan had an uncontested lane right underneath the basket, and Robinson will force him to earn it from the free throw line. He shoots 72% on the year. He's struggled so far in Big Ten play coming into tonight's contest. He had just 6 points in Purdue's first 2 Big Ten games combined. The former Michigan State commit misses the first of 2. Irvin checks back in for Dawkins as Swanigan readies for his second free throw. The 6'9" freshman buries the second, and Purdue and Michigan are deadlocked at 15 apiece with 7:20 left to go in the opening half. Rahman off the dribble in front of Purdue's bench, gets to the rim, gets the and one to go. Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman, starting in place of Levert, has 7, and he has an opportunity to earn 8 from the free throw strike.
At the line for Michigan, number 12, Muhammad Ali Abdur-Rahman.
The foul will go against Ryan Klein. Just the 3rd team foul for Purdue in this half. Michigan was 6, so from this point forward, and off the backboard, he banks in the free throw, does Rahman, and Michigan's on top 18-15. As I was saying, Purdue 1 of 1 the rest of the way with each Michigan foul. Michigan going to the 1-3-1 zone, trying to force a turnover, nearly do, but Hammond secures the loose ball, gives to Swanigan, and Caleb Swanigan finishes his first field goal of the game. He's got 3 so far, and Purdue cuts the lead down to 1. Robinson gives to Irvin. Irvin inside the arc going against Swanigan. Trapped, kicks to Rahman, pulls up for an open 3, misses off the back iron, and the rebound is brought down by Kendall Stevens. And now a inbounds pass to Hammonds, poked away by Wilson. He forces steal. Off the turnover, Robinson pulls up for 3, too strong, and the rebound is secured by Dakota Mathias. Mathias working it into Swanigan, guarded by Robinson. Swanigan in between 2 blue shirts, rejected by Wilson. Rahman ahead to Walton. Walton going to the rim, lays it in for 2. Great transition offense there for Michigan, and the Wolverines have a 3-point lead, 20-17, with 6 minutes left to go in this first half. Mathias working it inside to Hammonds, and he stuffs it home with 2 hands. He sealed off Wilson, got a good entry pass, and finishes, and that's the 3rd time we've seen that from a Purdue big man in this game, taking advantage of the mismatches. Michigan's going to have to continue to hit shots because at some point, Purdue's going to continue to find those bigs for easy basket. 20-19, Michigan leads. Robinson pulls up for 3, buries it from his spot. The right free throw line extended behind the arc, and Duncan Robinson has his 2nd triple of the game. The Michigan lead is up to 4. Michigan back in the 1-3-1 off the made basket. Ryan Klein handling the basketball, working it to the corner. And now Swanigan from the right elbow, kicks it up top to Mathias for 3, too strong. Robinson chasing down the rebound, and it's secured by Walton. Michigan pushing the pace. Walton going against Klein, steps in, rejected by Hammonds. Michigan still with numbers as the pass wisely poked away. by Stevens. Good quick hands, and Hammonds gets his first block of the game. As I mentioned coming into this contest, Hammonds was averaging 3.6 blocks per game. And the two-time Big Ten Player of the Week in the month of December rejects Walton, but the basketball stays with Michigan. 23-19, the score in favor of the Wolverines, who have hung in very well in what's a surprising start to this game, as people expected, especially with Karis LeVert out, that Michigan really had no chance against the bigs of Purdue. Michigan would have needed the firepower of LeVert. So far, that has not been the case. They lead 23-19 with 4:50 left to go in the opening half. Robinson gives to Irvin, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Irvin steps inside the three-point arc, gets a very contested shot off, missed everything. Dawkins came down but couldn't get a shot off of his rebound. Shot clock violation, gives the ball back to Purdue. It's the third turnover of the game for Michigan. Nonetheless, they still lead by 4. On the floor for the Boilermakers, Thompson, Edwards, Klein, Hammonds, Davis for Michigan, Wilson, Walton, Irvin, Robinson, and Dawkins. Thompson with the basketball right now for Purdue. Works it to Davis. Davis guarded by Dawkins, gets it down low to Hammonds, who goes to work on Wilson, and a backdoor cut. Finds Edwards wide open, and he finishes off the glass for 2. You focus too much on the big man Hammonds, and he'll distribute the basketball. He's averaging under an assist per game, but he's a heads-up senior who makes an easy assist there, and a pass gets away from Irvin. He wasn't contested. He just let the ball slip through his hands. Thompson pushing pace the other way, and the deflection from good counter defense for Michigan on the fast break for Purdue sees it go out of play. It'll be Purdue basketball when we come back. Michigan on top 23-21 against the 18th ranked Boilermakers with 3:53 left to go in the opening half. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Welcome back inside Mackey Arena. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Michigan on top of Purdue, 23-21, 3:53 left to go in the opening half. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network. On the floor for Purdue, Thompson, Edwards, Klein, Hammonds, and Davis for Michigan. Wilson, Walton, Abdur-Rahman, Wagner, and Robinson. And right off the inbounds pass. Vince Edwards finishes with a layup. He's got 4 in the game, 2 of 6 now from the field. And Purdue pulls back even with Michigan. Irvin off the dribble, driving baseline, kicking it to Rockman for 3. No good. Wilson fought for the rebound, couldn't get there as Edwards skied over him. Pushing the pace, Davis going back the other way. Fouled, and he finishes at the rim. Rayfeld Davis trying to complete his second and 1 of the game as Purdue takes back the lead 25-23 with 3:24 left to go in this first half. You give the Wolverines credit. They've hung around so far in this game despite the absence of far and away their best player, Karis LeVert, who's out of this game with a left leg injury sustained against Illinois that's kept him out of now 2 straight Big Ten games. And Purdue, after the Rayfeld Davis made free throw, completes the 3-point play, and the Boilermakers have a 3-point lead. Wilson at the top of the key, kicks to Irvin. Left free throw line extended is where Wilson takes the pass back from Irvin. Now Walton with the basketball. Walton off a screen from Wilson. Steps inside the arc. Kicks to Wilson. 3-pointer for Wilson. Too strong. And the long rebound falls to P.J. Thompson, the point guard. Thompson kicks to Davis from the free throw line. Davis's pull-up jumper no good. Hammond's tipped it straight to Duncan Robinson for Michigan. Wolverines pushing pace. 3-on-2 if they want it. Irvin steps inside the paint. Tried to work a pass wayward to Wilson, and it's taken away by Ryan Klein. Klein pushing it ahead. Edwards to Klein at the top of the key. Down low to Hammond, spinning away and finishing off the glass and in over DJ Wilson. Wagner, Donnell, and Doyle all on the bench for the Wolverines. And the Purdue crowd firmly back in this game. 28-23 to score with 2:15 left to go in the first half. Robinson off a screen from Wilson, forced to reset. Michigan down 5. They're 0 for their last 4. Robinson trying to change that top of the key 3, will not. And now Michigan's missed their last 4 field goal attempts. Purdue on a 9-0 run. Edwards trying to make it 11. Kicks it to Thompson, who will pull up for 3. 12-0 run for Purdue off the made 3-pointer. And John Beilein will take a timeout. Purdue storming to an 8-point lead. 31-23 the score, as Michigan has dug themselves quite a hole. They have not scored in the last 3 minutes and 42 seconds. We'll step away, 1:51 left to go in the opening half. Purdue on top, 31-23. Welcome back to West Lafayette, Indiana. Purdue on top of Michigan, 31-23. Purdue opponents on the year averaging under 60 points per game. Michigan with 23, on track for Purdue's defensive goals. Purdue averaging 78.5 points per game. And they're allowing opponents to shoot under 35% from the field coming into today's game. Michigan shooting 32%. Purdue coming alive on offensive late. They're now shooting 42% from the field. A lot of those coming inside the paint. 22 points in the paint for Purdue. 1 point shy of the total points for Michigan so far in this game. 23-31 the score in favor of Purdue with 1:40 left to go in the first half. Robinson gives to Walton. Walton dribbling around the perimeter. No space. Kicking to Robinson, who's well guarded by Davis. Walton leaves for Wilson, another wide open 3, and Wilson finally buries one, a big shot to stop the bleeding for Michigan and make it a 5-point game. DJ Wilson stops the scoring drought for Michigan at 4 minutes. Thompson dribbling inside, getting to the rim with ease. Walton's got to do a better job denying him. Easy lay-ins like that one. 7-point game. Under a minute left to go in the first half. Rockman to Robinson. Robinson stops his dribble at the top of the key, kicks it to Walton. Walton looking to drive. Denied by Thompson. Thompson, good on-ball defense, gives to Wilson. Another 3, no good. Wilson perhaps becoming a bit too happy shooting uncontested ones from behind the arc. He's 1 of 4 from behind the three-point stripe in this game, and he fouls Rayfeld Davis back the other way as Davis will go to the line to shoot 2. We'll actually give Duncan Robinson the foul. His second, 8th team foul for Michigan. And Rayfeld Davis will step to the line with 35.4 seconds left to go in the first half, and his Boilermakers leading 33-26. The first free throw for Davis is good. Rayfeld Davis makes the second as well. He's now got 8 points in the game, and Purdue's got a 9-point lead. 30 seconds left to go in the first half. Walton dribbling against Davis, getting into the paint, kicking it outside to Rockman. Rockman guarded by Klein, trying to get separation. Spinning from Klein, getting to the rim. He had a tough angle and missed off the edge of the backboard. The shot clock is off, and Purdue has a chance to finish the first half with a 10-point lead. Thompson gets into the glass, gets into the paint, I should say, misses off the glass. Walton pushing back the other way to Robinson, coast to coast, and he draws the foul. Great pass by Walton, and Purdue head coach Matt Painter not happy as Purdue had no reason to force that shot from Thompson. They wanted to, I believe, run out the clock on the first half and get the last shot. Instead, Robinson has a chance to earn 2 from the line, and Michigan will get some momentum back if Robinson can hit this pair. Robinson makes the first to make it an 8-point game. And considering Michigan shot just 32% from the field so far in this game, I think if Michigan can go into the locker room only down 7, John Beilein will be very happy with his squad. Keep in mind, Mark Donnell, after picking up that second early foul, has sat, and Robinson makes the pair, and Matt Painter will use a timeout with just an 8/10 of a second left. Purdue on top, 35-28. We'll see what Painter can draw up. Some kind of half-court heave as the Boilermakers are inbound underneath their own basket with under a second left to play. Purdue shooting 42.4% so far in this game. What's helped Michigan is they've made 5 threes. The problem is they've taken 14. Michigan coming into this game from behind the arc was shooting 43% as a team, shooting well below that team average, but that's to be expected against a stout defense that Purdue has, which usually allows opponents to shoot just over 25% from behind the arc. Swanigan will inbound with 8/10 of a second to go. Fires a pass the length of the court. Dawkins, the only one there, intercepts it. And at the end of the first half, Michigan trails the 18th ranked Purdue Boilermakers 35-28. We'll be back with second half coverage. You're listening to Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. A few minutes away from the start of the second half. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor, on our YouTube stream at youtube.com/WCBN Sports. Some first half stats for you. Purdue leading, first of all, 35-28. Michigan finishing the first half just 1 for their last 8, while Purdue was 6 of their last 8 from the field. Michigan's leading scorer in the first half, Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman, starting in place of Karis LeVert. He was 4 of 8 from the field. He had 10 points. And for the Boilermakers, their leading scorer in the first half was the 2015 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, Rayfel Davis, who not only contributed on the offensive end, but did a good job locking down both Duncan Robinson and Zach Urban at times. Urban held to just 2 points, 1 of 5 from the field. Robinson, not much better. He has 8 points, but he's 2 of 6 from the field so far in this game, shooting remarkably, somehow below his season average, as he's just shot 50% from behind the arc. 18 fouls for Michigan in the first half, and Purdue wasn't even close to sending Michigan in the bonus. Michigan, of course, one of the worst teams nationally at drawing fouls. They find themselves in around the bottom 10 teams in the entire country at getting to the free throw line, and Purdue having no trouble getting to the charity stripe as their bigs caused all sorts of problems. Mark Donnell played just 1 minute in the first half, had 3 points and 2 fouls. And with Karis LeVert out, Michigan's going to need contributions from other players. They needed a performance from Donnell, and they have not gotten it. And he's got to find a way to stay on the floor in this second half, as he's shown in the 1 minute he played, and more so in how the other bigs played, that he's going to be needed to lock up A.J. Hammonds, or at least try to prevent him from getting such easy looks in the second half. We'll come back with the start of the second half in a moment. Purdue on top currently 35-28 on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network. (35-28) the score as we get set to start the second half on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor, Michigan. Trailing the 18th ranked Boilermakers. Purdue in the second half will be going right to left. Michigan will be going left to right. Michigan will start with the basketball in a 7-point deficit. Mark Donnell back on the floor again in 1 minute of action in the first half. He picked up 2 fouls and had to sit the remaining 19, so you wonder what factor that might play, as he's spent 30-plus minutes of real time sitting, and now he enters back in the basketball game. He's joined by Walton, Rahman, Robinson, and Urban for Purdue. Hill, Edwards, Hammonds, Davis, and Swanigan. Urban dribbling inside the three-point arc. Swanigan fell down, and he had a wide-open jumper from just beyond the free throw line and hits it. Zach Urban with just his second field goal of the game. He's got 4 points. Hammonds down low, going to work against Donnell on the left block, and he walked. The fans won't like it, but it's the correct call. Donnell had solid positioning. Hammonds tried to back him down, picked up his dribble, and took a few more steps. Good travel call there, as Hammonds picks up his second turnover of the game. Michigan looking to start the second half strong. They trail by 5. Walton with the basketball. Gives to Irvin. Irvin, who made the first basket of this second half. Kicks to Rockman. Rockman for 3. Too strong. Poked away by Irvin, and Donnell secures it. Big offensive rebound, if you will. Quick hand play made by Irvin to poke it loose. And Rockman driving to the basket picks up an off-ball foul on Vince Edwards. Second foul against Edwards in the game. First team foul for either side in this second half goes to Purdue. We'll reset the shot clock. 19:09 left to go in this second half. Michigan trailing by 5. Rockman to Robinson off a screen. He's immediately suffocated by Rayfel Davis. Irvin's got the mismatch with speed over Swanigan. If he can get a little bit of separation, look for him to try to get to the rim. Walton, driving baseline, gets to the rim and is rejected against the backboard by Hammonds. Hammonds slow to get up, and the offensive rebound from Donnell results in a hook shot that he can't convert. Pushing the pace. Hammonds, 2 hands, missed the dunk off the iron. 3-pointer is the response for Purdue anyway off the offensive rebound. It was an awkward play. Hammonds went for the 2-handed stuff. It found the iron. As it slipped out of his grasp, fell nicely to Davis, who hit the 3-pointer, and Purdue's back on top 38-30. Donnell gives to Walton off a screen. Walton will pull up for 3 off the front of the iron, though. Good offensive rebound brought down by Irvin. It's loose. He pulls up for 3 around the rim and no good. Swanigan secures this one, no problem. Davis, guarded by Walton, has a height advantage. Gets it off the bounce to Hammonds. Hammonds going to work in the paint. Goes up, and one upcoming for A.J. Hammonds. He'll go to the line to finish the 3-point play, and Purdue on top by 10. A.J. Hammonds, his first trip to the free throw line in this game on the year. Shooting 76% from the free throw line. He hits that one. And Purdue now holds an 11-point lead. Their largest lead of the game. With 17:40 left to go in this contest between Michigan and Purdue. Purdue looking to get to 2-1 in conference play. Michigan looking to stay undefeated. Donnell for 3 from the top of the key, and he hits over Hammond. And Donnell gets his second basket of the game, both of them coming from behind the arc. Now he goes back to work on the defensive side on the left block against Hammonds. Hammonds kicks it from the double team. An open 3, no good. Irvin had good positioning on Swanigan, and he tipped the ball to Donnell for the rebound. Irvin splits the defense, gets inside. Hammonds forces him to reconsider going up for a shot, and he'll kick it to Rockman, and Michigan will reset. Rockman getting inside. Hammonds came to stuff it away, but the foul was called on Thompson before he could get the shot off. You just see the impact of Hammonds in this game as Michigan on shots they normally try to go for high arching layups. Hammonds making them think otherwise and kick it to the perimeter. But Rockman did a good job drawing the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2 to try to cut into this 8-point Purdue lead with 17:04 left to go in the second half. The first free throw is up and good for Rockman. Michigan shooting into the what would normally be the paint crew, but with the Purdue students still on winter break, it's a mix of alumni, Purdue fans, and students as well as the alumni pep band. Now Michigan going with the full court 1-3-1 press off the 2 made free throws. They trail by 6, and Purdue has no trouble breaking the press. Irvin bodied up by Swanigan, and he gets the hook shot to fall. Swanigan with a big advantage over Irvin in size, as the true freshman shows the junior a little something. Robinson gives to Irvin on the perimeter. Irvin guarded by Swanigan. He's got speed against them, getting inside. Shoved on the baseline, gives to Donnell, and Donnell walked with it before he could get the shot off. Hammonds causing all sorts of problems on the defensive end for Mark Donnell as well as Irvin on that sequence. And it's another turnover for Michigan. There's 6 in the game. Purdue on top, 43-35 with 16:26 still to go in this game. Purdue still allowing Michigan to hang around somewhat in this game. A wayward pass for Hammonds takes a deflection off the backboard, and a foul called, a shooting foul against Duncan Robinson. And those are the breaks that have just gone Purdue's way. A wayward pass that should have been a turnover instead takes a deflection off the backboard and finds Davis, and he'll once again go to the line to shoot two. Michigan would need the breaks with Irvin's absence. They haven't gotten them, and give the Wolverines credit for still hanging around, but Purdue just defensively squandering many opportunities Michigan's had to cut into this lead. Davis's first free throw is good, and the lead back up to 9, 44-35 now the score in favor of the Boilermakers. Davis makes the second one, and the lead is back up to 10 for the Boilermakers. Walton off a handoff from Dawkins, drives baseline, hip checked, and kicks it to Irvin. Irvin spinning around Swanigan, extended the arm, but the foul will go against Swanigan. I thought they could have got Irvin for extending that arm and trying to spin around the true freshman. Instead, the call goes against that freshman. Third team foul for Purdue in this half. And the first personal against Swanigan as the crowd cheers Edwards heading to the bench for Ryan Klein. Irvin looking to inbound. Able to do so to his outlet, Donnell. The right free throw line extended is where Rockman waits, and it's worked the opposite direction in front of Michigan's bench to Dawkins. Now Donnell and Irvin with it. To Dawkins off a screen, not enough separation from Swanigan. Gets inside the paint, and Hammonds sends it. Out of play, A.J. Hammonds. An absolute defensive force for Purdue, and they will head to a media timeout with 15:48 left to go in the second half. Purdue on top 45-35 as A.J. Hammonds making his presence felt once again. For Hammonds, his second block, as I told you coming into the contest, Hammonds was averaging just under 4 blocks per game, and he's been a factor whenever Michigan's had the basketball in the paint. We'll step away. Michigan down by 10, 15:48 left to go in the second half. You're listening to Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Michigan, without Karis LeVert, appear destined for their first loss in Big Ten play, and Purdue showing you no reason to believe that won't be the case as the Boilermakers lead it 45-35 with 15:48 left to go in the second half. Michigan, you feel like has that offensive run in them against most opponents, but Purdue a whole different animal, one of the best defensive teams in the entire country. as the Boilermakers coming into this game led the nation in field goal percentage defense, allowing opponents to shoot just 34% from the field. Irvin on the inbounds pass, joined on the floor by Dawkins, Rockman, Walton, and Donnell. Rockman with the basketball now, going to work on Swanigan. Gets inside, scoop shot in. Pretty move by Rockman, as he's looked athletic when he can get to the rim all season. And he gets another creative shot off to cut the lead to 8. Thompson works it to Klein. Down low to Hammond's going to work on Donnell. Nasty move inside, and he used his right elbow to get some separation and get to the left block and finish off the glass. Just no answer for Donnell or any of Michigan's bigs against the 7-footer. Donnell with the ball on the offensive end, handing off to Dawkins. Dawkins guarded by Swanigan. Using his speed to get inside and create separation, defers to Rockman. 5 on the shot clock. Rockman gets inside, contested shot high off the glass over the extended arm of Hammonds and in. Hammonds will alter shots. He did so there, but it didn't matter as Rockman was able to finish in the paint. And the lead back down to 8. Back and forth we go. Klein down low to Hammonds. Out to Thompson for 3. Buries it. Nothing but net for P.J. Thompson. And Michigan went with the double team there. Hammonds made him pay with a nice distribution as he gets his 3rd assist of the game, and Purdue's lead back up to 11. Dawkins. Step back 3. Buries it over Swanigan. And Michigan counters Purdue's 3 with a 3 of their own to cut the lead back down to 8. Can the Wolverines get a stop and cut the margin to fewer than 8 is the question now. Klein off a screen from Davis. Forced to pick up the dribble and works it down low to Hammonds. 10 on the shot clock, and the press forces Hammonds to kick it to Klein for 3. No good. Walton secures the long rebound. Walton dribbled it off his own foot, but was able to secure the loose ball. Dribbling baseline. Working around Klein, spinning around him, getting the contested shot off the backboard, and he will go to the line to shoot 2 with 13:29 left to go in the half. And Michigan down by 8. It's an opportunity for Michigan to cut that deficit down. Andrew Dockich sits at the scorer's table waiting to check in, and Isaac Haas comes off the bench to check in as well. 3 Boilermakers awaiting entry back into this game. On the year, Walton shooting just 77% from the free throw stripe, and he misses off the front end of the rim on the first. You want your ball handlers to shoot at least 80%. Walton not doing that, and he misses another one. And Michigan's got to get the free throws and the free shots when they can, because Purdue's not going to give you many easy looks. Free throw line is one of the few shots that A.J. Hammonds can't have an impact on. Walton makes the second one, and the lead down to 7. 43-50 the score with 13:29 left to go. On the floor for Purdue after a trio of substitutions: Thompson, Edwards, Stevens, Davis, Haas for Michigan. Walton. Check that. Dockich just checking in for Walton, so it's Dockich, Rockman, Urban, Donnell, and Dawkins. Haas. 7'2" against 6'9", spins away, and Donnell picks up his 3rd foul. And DJ Wilson immediately springs off the bench to check in for Donnell. Michigan's got a 7-foot commit in signee at this point, Don Teskey. They could really use his size right now. Unfortunately, he won't get to Ann Arbor for another season. All Michigan can do is throw out a couple of 6'9" guys and hope they can compete against a 7-footer and a 7'2" big man for Purdue, and Wilson will be tasked with guarding the 7'2" Isaac Haas right now. Vince Edwards spinning away from the rim. His fadeaway no good. Rebound tipped around, and it will go to Michigan out of bounds off the baseline. $13:01 left to go in the second half. Purdue on top of Michigan, 50-43. Hammonds on the bench, an opportunity for Michigan to score in the paint, but a 7'2" Isaac Haas awaits a basketball coming his way. Rockman gets it off the glass. Haas didn't attempt to even block that shot. Rockman went high off the glass anyway, and the lead down to 5. Michigan has converted on their last 4 field goal attempts, and they've gone on a 6-0 run over the last minute and a half. Rayfeld Davis works it to Edwards. Down low to Haas, splitting the defenders, and Dockich grabbed him on the floor. Smart foul by Dockich. Prevents Haas from getting a shot attempt up, and it will simply reset the shot clock. 12.5 minutes left to play. Michigan down by 5. Davis to inbound. Underneath the attacking basket for Purdue. Dockich guarding the inbound. Davis just able to get it in to Stevens. Up top to Thompson. Now Davis guarded by Dockich. Thompson guarded by Irvin, and an off-ball foul called on Rockman, who got a hold of Stevens, trying to slow him, as big 7'2" Isaac Haas was sitting the screen there on the 5'10" Abdur Rahman. Dakota Mathias checking in now for Rayfeld Davis. And an opportunity for Zach Irvin to get some breathing room as the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year from a year ago takes a seat. Mathias inbounds to Stevens. Thompson now with it. Going to work on the walk on Dockich. Dockich called for a foul on the floor. Just too much speed on the blow-by from Thompson. And another foul for Dockich. The 6th-team foul against Michigan, so Purdue will be in the bonus the rest of the way. With still 12-16 left to go. Every foul from this point forward will be free throws for Purdue. Thompson now guarded by Rockman. A low pass to Haas, and the alley-oop is converted. Wasn't sure if it was an alley-oop, but it's 7'2". A basketball anywhere near the rim, and he can finish with ease, and the lead back up to 7, and that gets the crowd back into it. Dawkins working it down low to Rockman, who's held by Thompson. He falls to the ground, and the off-ball foul leads to a immediate timeout with 11:46 left to go in the second half. Michigan trails Purdue 45-52. The finish of this game appears like it could be a very good one. Stay tuned on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network. 11:46 left to go in the contest between Michigan and Purdue. I'm Leo Blavin, live from Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, Indiana, on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM, Ann Arbor, Michigan, trailing 52-45. Irvin to inbound for the Wolverines. On the floor for Purdue, Thompson, Edwards, Stevens, Matthias, and Haas. For Michigan, Wilson, Walton, Abdul-Rahman, Irvin, and Robinson. No Rayfeld Davis right now, so Robinson will look to go to work on Matthias. Couple of three-pointers, and Michigan's right back in this game. Wilson sets a screen for Rahman. Rahman gets inside. Haas denied him a clean look at the basket. It didn't matter. He faded away. The right hand enough to separate Haas from the basketball, and he finishes on the hook over the 7'2" big man from Alabama. The lead down to 5. Haas going to work on the 6'9" DJ Wilson. His hook shot with a lot of speed, draws the foul, and finishes. Just no answer for Michigan against either Hammonds or Haas defensively. And with 11:08 left to go in the game, Purdue will look to extend their lead to 8 points if Haas can convert the free throw. The 74% free throw shooter on the year, Isaac Haas, finishes the and one, in Michigan now trailing by 8. Wilson checks out. Doyle checks in. Doyle is one foul, and that's the only thing on his stat line in this game. Robinson, guarded by Matthias, works to Irvin. Now Rahman, thought about a three. Instead will dribble. Guarded by the 7'2" Haas, gives to Doyle. Doyle going up, blocked from behind, and Purdue going back the other way. But Rahman with good hands to poke it away on the transition defense, forces the turnover. Irvin with the basketball. Screen set by Doyle. Off a couple of feet, Irvin spinning through the defense. Jump ball gives the basketball to Purdue. Seven turnovers now for the Wolverines as Mo Wagner checks in for Doyle. Michigan needed to play a near-perfect game with the absence of Levert. They haven't shot the ball particularly well, just 38% from the field and 7 turnovers. And they trail by 8. 10.5 minutes left to play. Haas sets a screen for Thompson, who kicks it into the corner. Vince Edwards in front of the Purdue bench, buries the three. And Purdue back with their largest lead of the game at 11 with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left to play. Wagner working to Robinson. To Rahman. Rahman neglects the screen from Wagner and pulls up for a right elbow shot and buries it from the free throw line. Mo Wagner tried to set a screen. Rahman said, "No, thank you. I'll take it myself," and he finishes, and Walton called for a foul on the other end as Thompson simply lowered the right shoulder, went to the rim, and would not be denied without a foul. That's the 8th team foul for Michigan, so Thompson will go to the line for a 1-and-1 as Haas checks out. Rayfeld Davis back in, as is A.J. Hammonds. Kendall Stevens checking out as well, so it's now Thompson, Hammonds, Edwards, Davis, and Matthias as the front end of the 1-and-1 is missed, and Michigan has a chance to cut into the 9-point lead with under 10 minutes left to play. Walton gives to Irvin. Irvin gets inside the paint, spinning around. Hammonds denying him even an opportunity to look at the basket, but it doesn't matter. He kicks to Walton, and Walton hits a three, and beeline and the Michigan fans who've made the trip to West Lafayette on their feet. The lead down to 6. As poorly as Michigan has played at times, they still are within 2 baskets of a tie game with 9.5 minutes left to play. You're listening to the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. The 18th ranked Boilermakers on top, 58-52. We'll be back in a moment. Back inside Mackey Arena, 9:28 still to play in this game, and the 18th ranked Boilermakers on the ropes. Michigan trailing by just 6, 58-52 the score. It'll be Purdue basketball on the floor. Vince Edwards, PJ Thompson, Rayfeld Davis, Dakota Mathias, and AJ Hammonds for Purdue. For Michigan, it's Duncan Robinson, Zach Irvin, Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman, Mark Donnell, and Derek Walton Jr. Michigan coming back in the 1-3-1 zone out of the timeout called by John Beilein, and it nearly forces a turnover. Davis able to corral it on the floor. Mathias thought about a three, instead it's up top to Davis. Robinson with good defense here. Michigan stifling the Boilermakers with the zone. Mathias found in the corner, tried to work it down low to Hammonds, intercepted by Donnell. Back the other way comes Michigan off of the 8th Purdue turnover of the game. Donnell, guarded by Hammonds, works it to Walton. Donnell sets a screen. Irvin trying to go inside the paint on the Big Ten logo. He takes a jump step and kicks it back up top to Walton. Walton driving inside, leaving it for Donnell. Couldn't get his hands quickly enough on it, and Davis blocks it. Back the other way are the Boilermakers. Into the corner, Davis for three, buries it. Rayfeld Davis, a big shot to answer a little run. And the Boilermakers have made their last 4 field goal attempts. They lead it by 9, 8 minutes to go. The crowd back in it here at Mackey Arena. Donnell sets a screen for Irvin. Irvin from the Big Ten logo inside the painted area, no good. Put back attempt for Donnell, no good. He goes up and draws a foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two. Vince Edwards with his hands a bit too grabby on the big man for Michigan, and Donnell will earn 2 points if he can convert from the line after the break. 7:58 left to go in the second half. Purdue on top of Michigan, 61-52. (61-52) the score. 7:58 left to go in the contest between Michigan and Purdue. The Boilermakers on top on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor, live from Mackey Arena in West Lafayette, Indiana. Mark Donnell steps to the line to shoot two off the Vince Edwards foul, and he misses the first. Off the heel of the iron. Michigan 6 of 8 from the free throw line in the game, make it 7 of 9. Donnell hits the second, and the lead down to 8. 53-61 the score for Purdue. 1-3-1 zone still for Michigan. They'll continue to press. Dakota Mathias with the basketball. Now Hill. Works it to Davis. Davis from the outside. And now it's worked down low. Hill inside the painted area. Goes up strong. And against Martinell, the 6'3", Johnny Hill finishes with ease. 10-point lead for the Boilermakers. Irving with the basketball. 10 on the shot clock, and now Michigan's offense finally gets going on this possession. Irving tiptoeing baseline, intercepted by Hill. Hill backwards pass, 3-on-1. Hammond's at it, stripped away, but he was fouled. He will shoot 2 with 6:54 left to go in the game, and now Purdue trying to finally put Michigan away. The Wolverines have been stubborn, but Purdue's never really felt that threat. Hammond's first free throw is off the front of the iron, no good. Second one rattles around and in for the big man. Walton trying to draw a foul with some head jerks, not getting it, and now finally the third time was the charm for Walton on that dribble drive as he drew the foul. 7th team foul against Purdue, and Walton will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Swanigan gets ready to check back in for Vince Edwards. 64-53 the score in favor of the home side. With 6:50 left to play, Walton will head to the line for the 1-and-1. Michigan 7 of 9 as a team from the stripe in this game. Walton's first free throw is up and good. He improves to 2 of 3 from that charity stripe. Purdue has made their last 5 field goal attempts. Michigan's got to get some defensive stops, but first the second free throw for Walton is up and good. Lead down to 9, 64-55 the score. Michigan back in that 1-3-1 zone. Swanigan looking to break the press. Has it stripped away, and Irvin was the guy who got his hand on it. Robinson back the other way. Goes up strong and finishes. The fans wanted to travel. They may have had a case there, but they don't get the call. And Robinson finishes at the rim. Looked from up here like it was a travel. Michigan gets a break. And now quick hands from Irvin nearly forces a steal from Hill. Struggling with the press. Swanigan works it to Davis. Matthias working it across court to Hill. Hill well guarded by Irvin. Davis pulls up for a contested 3 off the edge of the iron, and it goes out to Walton. Walton pushing the pace. Splitting through the defense. No one denied ball. Gets a shot up. Contested, and Swanigan pokes away the rebound. Rayfeld Davis brings it down. Fans wanting a foul from Rockman. They won't get it. Robinson nearly deflected the pass off of Matthias. Instead, it simply falls on the Purdue bench. 21 seconds still on the shot clock. Fans unhappy with that last sequence as they wanted a foul against Rockman. And now Matt Painter will take a timeout here to try to counter the 1-3-1 zone, which continues to cause problems for Purdue. They lead it still 64-57 with 5:47 left to play. You're listening to Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor, on our YouTube stream at youtube.com/WCBN Sports. Michigan still hanging around. They trail by just 7 points, and the 1-3-1 zone has caused some problems for Purdue in this game. They have 9 turnovers. Michigan just one of their last 5. They're still in this game, but a one-handed flush by Johnny Hill may put an end to that. It makes the lead back up to 9, and time no longer a friend of Michigan. Irvin pulls up for a contested 3, and he's fouled on his way up. Terrible foul there for the true freshman Swanigan. Has to be smarter there, he knows it. And Irvin will get a chance to head to the line to shoot 3 big free throws for Michigan. Irvin on the season, shooting just 55% from the free throw line.
Number 21, Seth Irvin.
He has not headed to the stripe in this game, and he gets the first. Irvin from Fishers, Indiana, a homecoming of sorts. Plenty of family in the crowd for this one. Gets the second of 2. And he will get a third and try to make it a 6-point game if he can hit this one with 5:20 left to play. Third one is good, and he goes 3 for 3 from the stripe. 3 big free throws for Michigan. It's just a 6-point game. The crowd a bit restless here as Michigan comes back out with that 1-3-1 zone. Davis kicking it to Matthias for 3, buries it. And that's one way to prevent the zone from causing problems. He hits a 3 in front of Purdue's bench, gets a towel smack on the backside from that bench mob for Purdue, and the lead is back up to 9. Irvin, top of the key, thought about a 3, instead gets inside. His shot rejected by Hammond. Matthias pushing it back the other way, gets it to Hill, going to the rim. He's fouled by Rockmon, and he will go to the line to shoot 2 with 4:44 left to play in this game. And this may put an end to it. If he can get 2, he will go up to 6 points on his total in this game, and it will give Purdue a 11-point lead once again. Purdue has not gotten any more than an 11-point lead in this game, but Michigan hasn't been able to get within 5 in this second half as the first free throw is good for Johnny Hill. His second free throw is up, and it is in as well, and Purdue is back on top by 11, matching their largest lead in the game with 4:40 left to play. Hill going with a full court press on Walton. Walton off a screen from Donnell. Now in the double team. Donnell was left alone for a moment, but all Walton could do was hand it off to Irvin. Irvin, step back 3 off the side of the rim, no good. Davis with the rebound. And now Purdue can just settle things down. They don't have to shoot it until there will be less than 4 minutes left to play in the game. Hill getting it down low to an open Hammond's two-handed stuff. Put the game on ice for Purdue now. And Beeline will take a timeout, upset with his junior, Mark Donnell, who was responsible for leaving the 7-footer alone, and that will lead to a timeout on the floor with 4:04 left to play. It's Purdue 73, Michigan 60 on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor. Purdue on top 73-60 over Michigan with 4 minutes left to play at Mackey Arena. Off the timeout, Michigan with the basketball, down by 13. Walton blows by Hill, but Hammonds forces him to reconsider taking a free throw, or a layup, I should say, and then from the free throw line, Nachman misses the jumper. Michigan just 1 of their last 8, 0 of their last 4 from the field. As Purdue is clamped down on defense late, and Michigan can't buy a basket. 5 on the shot clock for Davis. Kicks it to Hammonds from the top of the key. He pulls up for 3 and buries it. Everything going right for Purdue's big man now. Hammonds with 17 points. He's 7 of 10 from the field, and he's 1 for 1 from behind the arc. And he's shot 100% from the three-point line this year as Wilson misses a 3 back on the other end, and Swanigan with good rebounding position on Irvin boxes out the Fishers, Indiana native, and brings down the board for Purdue. And now the Boilermakers can simply dribble away the clock. Hill gives to Swanigan, down low to Hammonds, kicks it to Matthias in the corner, bobbled it so he couldn't get a clean shot off. Instead gives to Hill, gunning inside, well defended by Wilson. He had to turn his back to the basket and get it off the glass and in anyway. And the final score now will get away from Michigan. It's not going to be as ugly as it looks on the final score, but Michigan, no question, outmatched in this game as Walton hits a 3 and Beeline takes another timeout. The lead is 15 for Purdue, 78-63 the score with 2:14 left to play on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network, WCBN FM Ann Arbor will step away. Michigan's played 4 very good teams this year in Xavier, Connecticut, and SMU, and now Purdue today. Michigan will fall to 0-4 and likely lose yet again by double digits to a ranked foe. And they will fall to 2-1 in Big Ten play, barring a miracle. The Wolverines trailing 78-63 here in Indiana to Purdue with 2:14 left to play. Michigan will go with the full court press from this point forward, you'd expect. Edwards just trying to get the inbound and does to Davis. Davis trapped on the baseline. It's poked away by Walton Jr. out of bounds on the baseline. Purdue keeps the basketball. 2:11 left to play. Edwards forced to take a timeout. Good pressure from Michigan on defense. And Matt Painter will talk it over with his guys how to break this full court press with 2:11 left to play. Michigan trailing by 15 to Purdue, 78-63 on the Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network. Purdue on top of Michigan, 78-63 with 2:11 left to play. 42 points in the paint tonight for Purdue. In the second half, the Boilermakers are shooting 75% from the field. And that's a telling statistic in this game, as it's been as easy as it gets for Purdue on the offensive end of the floor in this second half. Michigan hasn't shot the ball poorly against this Purdue defense in the second half. They're shooting 42%. The difference has been Purdue has just gotten everything easy because of their bigs against Michigan's undersized 4 and 5 in this game. Purdue looking to break the full court press, finally able to do so as Edwards passes it across the time stripe. A pass going wayward, deflected off the foot of Dawkins, out of play in front of the scorer's table with 1:56 left to play. Rayfel Davis inbounds it. Gets it back from Davis, and now a three-pointer from the corner for Dakota Mathias is good, and the lead is up to 18. 15-3 run for Purdue as they close out this game. Dawkins with it back the other way, under a minute and a half left to play. Gives to Wilson. Now Irvin. Dawkins and Wilson back with it outside the three-point line. Rockman trying to split the defense, kicks it out to Wilson. Dawkins, top of the key three-pointer, and he hits it. Just too little, too late for Michigan, but they've hit shots to make the scoreboard look better than it will, in fact, be as this game closes out. 15-point lead for Purdue and a quick foul from DJ Wilson. Sends Rayfel Davis, or check that, it'll be Vince Edwards heading to the line to shoot two. Purdue in the double bonus as the fans here at Mackey Arena begin to file out as their Purdue Boilermakers improve to 2-1 in Big Ten play after a minute and 13 seconds of game action expires. Michigan, again, will be handed their first Big Ten loss of the year. They'll fall to 2-1. They will get to face this Boilermaker team again, you hope, with Karis LeVert back from injury on February 13th. You do wonder what might have happened if Michigan had their best player, but unfortunately, Karis LeVert's not 7 foot, and it wouldn't have made a difference in the painted area where Purdue had such great success tonight. Edwards makes both free throws, and the lead is up to 17. Walton fouled on the other way. I'm not sure what Mathias is doing, fouling him at this point in the game. A minute and 6 seconds left to play, and the 1-1 will send Walton back to the line. Duncan Robinson checks back in for Zach Irvin. As Irvin gets a standing ovation from some of the parents in the Michigan section. Large contingent of Zach Irvin fans making their presence felt. The Fishers, Indiana native back in the Hoosier State. They'll be disappointed with the result. Just 7 points on 2 of 10 shooting. He was 0 of 3 from behind the arc. Walton makes the first free throw, misses the second. Wilson tried to secure the rebound. It's tipped around, and Johnny Hill comes away with it. And now a quick foul by Walton will send Hill to the line to shoot two. A minute and 1 second left to play. Purdue on top, 83-67. Johnny Hill will head to the line to shoot two. As the Purdue fans continue to head towards the exit. Hill readies for his first free throw of 2, and he hits. Andrew Dockich checks in for Walton. Mo Wagner back in for DJ Wilson. Abdur Rahman, the player of this game for Michigan. He has 22 points on 9 of 15 shooting. 3 rebounds, 2 assists to his credit. For Purdue, Rayfel Davis will be the leading scorer. He had defensive contributions as well, but A.J. Hammonds with 17 points and 5 rebounds, as well as 4 blocks, the player of the game for Purdue and the player of this game overall. Robinson pulls up for a wayward 3 off the back rim. An iron. Isn't forgiving there, and it's a rebound for Purdue and another foul. Vince Edwards will head to the line for 2 as Michigan not content to let Purdue dribble out the clock here despite a 18-point deficit and just 42.6 seconds left to play. You wonder at what point Beeline calls the Dogs off.
At the line for Purdue, shooting 2, Vince Edwards.
As if nothing else, it gives some of the Purdue fans, frankly, a lot of the Purdue fans now, an opportunity to try to beat the traffic as the first free throw is good and the lead is up to 19. Purdue has converted on their last 6 field goal attempts, and now they've finished out this game from the line, and they make another one there as Edwards gets his 11th point of the game. Purdue on top by 20, 35 seconds left to play. Dawkins pulls up for a contested 3, hand in his face, and he misses off the rim. Rockman brings down the rebound, pulls up for a 3 of his own and hits it. Michigan will full court press. They will not foul, though, and Thompson will be able to dribble it the remainder of this game, you would hope. Michigan will fall by 17 points at Mackey Arena as Purdue will improve on the year to 14-2 overall. Michigan will fall to 12-4 as the Boilermakers get their second win in conference play. The final score, the 18th ranked Purdue Boilermakers 87, the Michigan Wolverines 70. You've been listening to a Michigan Basketball Student Radio Network broadcast from Mackey Arena at West Lafayette, Indiana. On behalf of the entire WCBN sports crew, I'm Leo Blavin, wishing you a good night and go blue. Again, the final score from Purdue, the Boilermakers 87, the Michigan Wolverines 70.